This is probably not appropriate to start with the peace greeting, and I'll just say this to explain it. First, I still want to thank all of the supporters, all of the business and first one business, and all of the first class subscribers to the lounge, the Jet Black Hair Lounge on Buy Me a Coffee. And I want to thank everyone who supported this channel from day one. From Abdullah bin Bobby, and Abdul Malik, Abu Thalatha, who have been supporting this channel since before 2019, and Dwight Hayes, and then everybody that started in 2019 to support me and back me up. And that would be Don Calypso, Edward Allen Anderson, B.G.S. Ibmore, and then later on, LAR Movement, and more recently, Compassionate and Callous and Malika Mebani, and I really do appreciate that backup I've gotten from them. And then those who have come through on Cash App multiple times. C. Peterson, Professional 238, The Doctors, Armando, many others. S. Jock has come through multiple times, most consistent. I also want to give a shout out to a black agent who has tried to spread the message in the city in which he lives. But he's been tied up, and I understand that. And I want to give a shout out to black agent's friend that recently accepted Islam. D, you know who you are. Assalamu alaikum and congratulations. You were on a path that allows you to get a lot of the difficulty out of the way early on. I'm not saying you're on an easy path. I'm saying you're on a path that gets easier. And then one day, without even being easy, it becomes the easiest path. Believe it or not. We'll talk about that more one day, inshallah. I opened this up because I wanted to tell you guys about this issue of being told that we need to understand. And the problem with the black population in the diaspora is that it is always the wrong black folks that are being told that they need to understand. In other words, the black folks that are in the right are told they need to be understanding of those that are in the wrong, and then those that are in the wrong are told that they need more understanding from those that are in the right. And we got it backwards. And it's time that we start revolutionizing this and saying, no, shuck that fit. We need to be understanding with things that people can't possibly know, with things that people will need a long time to learn. Understanding of the time that it would take them to effectively learn certain things. We do not need to be understanding of stupidity, dysfunction, immorality. That's not something with which we need more patience nor understanding. One day, over a decade ago, I think this is before I even came here, I am trying to remember exactly who it was. Was it Michael Eric Dyson? Was it Cornel West? I think it was Michael Eric Dyson that was on the stage with T.I. and some other entertainers, and they were talking something about a cultural reform, and Michael Eric Dyson tried to say that, you know, the youth don't understand everything that people are preaching when they try to reach them, but they understand BIGPOPPA, no info for the DEA. And T.I. looked up surprised. And at that time, my inner Mandingo Muslim said, man, shuck this fit. I don't care what they understand. If these niggas ain't gonna get rid of that goddamn Nick culture that they call culture, then screw them. They're not needed. Now, it may be that they say, well, we're not going to sell each other out for massa, and that's okay, but we have taken H-Rap Brown's book, Die Nigga Die, the wrong way. He praised the idea of culturally defying white folks' sensibilities if they're going to be our enemies, and approval of what they disapprove and disapproval of what they approve. But that was H-Rap Brown talking about being resistant to somebody that's an oppressor. He did not ever promote dysfunction. Later, he became Jamil Al-Amin, and he wrote Revolution by the book. And that's where the resistance became morally solidified and crystallized. And when you read it, you then begin to understand, oh, that's why they arrested him. Yeah. Starts to make sense then. He cleaned up the West End. Or he led its cleanup efforts. Working closely with the Atlanta Police Department, and yet and still he was a target, not really even of the APD, but of others. I went to Morehouse. I heard the damn gunshots just about every Friday and Saturday nights from Morehouse's campus. I can honestly, at this point, tell you that it is not like that. And I have not lived there for a long time and don't plan on living in Atlanta anymore anyway. But I can say that what I do recall is that that I started to be able to go through the West End. I had one of my daughters in daycare there for a while. It was safe. What Jamil Al-Amin began to say was that he would understand the struggles of people trying to go from the wrong path to the straight path. He was not willing to understand when people decided to stay on the wrong path. And he's not the only black person that has done that and said that and voiced this. He is not by any means the only one. He's not alone in it, but he is one of the few. And I'm going to tell you all that we're going to have to start doing this when it comes down to several things. I have to look at my students and I have to say to them, damn it, I don't need to be understanding or be more patient just so you can be stupid and keep repeating the same mistakes. Don't send me any voice notes or any written messages telling me why you're not used to punctuating when you write. F what you're used to, it's wrong, nigga. You're not used to spelling a lot of words correctly in your own damn language. Don't tell me what you're used to. Your high school, I have to say the same thing. That Trey's dad told Kane in Menace to Society when Ronnie and Kane came to visit him in the prison. Look, man, I know how you feel about right. Hey, man, hey, it's cool, man. It's cool. Take care of my son, man. Teach Trey that the way we grew up is BS. That was important. That right there was a message. Teach him that the way we came up was BS. All of that in the culture that is dysfunctional is BS. No more understanding for this. No snitching needs to be applied to those that are revolutionaries and might be doing something that's illegal, but it's morally right because we may not get justice any other way. We don't have that ethos when it comes to them. No more being understanding when the youth say, well, you know, man, the youth may not understand when you're talking about the importance of studying trigonometry or calculus. Okay, you know what? Screw it. They don't have to study that. They got to study something, and they got to study something that is not fun for everybody in order to get a skill for which they can get paid. Because people ain't going to pay anyone else to do anything except something they themselves are going to avoid doing. That's it. Everybody ain't gonna fix dishwashers and laundry machines and dryers, fixing appliances. Everybody ain't gonna do it. That's why there's some who can get paid for it. Others are gonna study something else, but you're gonna have to take a skill and actually study stuff like a nerd in order to acquire a skill that is worth anybody paying you a damn wage that's livable. And we got to start getting certain things into people's heads that even if they don't accept them, we still get into their head that we're not the ones that are changing our minds to suit them anymore. We will be patient when people are making the actual effort to go in the right way, and there are things they may just not know yet, or things that are genuinely hard to learn, like trigonometry or calculus or chemistry or something like that. But we are not going to be understanding or patient anymore because somebody just has to get used to doing something the right way because they did it the wrong way for so long. Well, nigga, you shouldn't have done it the wrong way all these damn years. I got to tell my students this because when my whole class failed in the fall of 2024, that was not my fault. They made their minds up. We're used to speaking Niglibic, so we're going to keep on speaking Niglibic because it's what we're used to. And screw what Instructor Black is telling us about proper subject-verb agreement and punctuation when we write, and past tense verb conjugation when we're talking about the past. Screw all of that. We're not used to that. Okay, dummy. Keep on doing it. Keep on writing with that Niglibic you've been speaking all these years. I told you how to correct it. I showed you, spelled it out for you, literally. You've been using AI to cheat and write essays. You could use AI to help you practice the corrections to your mistakes. They didn't do it. And I'm seeing the same thing again, but I'm not here to vent about what I'm dealing with my students. I'm simply saying that the same lack of understanding and patience that I preach to my students for their own benefit is what we are going to have to start saying, not only to the dysfunctional elements of the community, but especially to the matriarchy, the gynocracy. Be it the matriarchs and the gynocrats themselves, or their mandingos and the goons who enable them. We're going to have to start saying that we are done being understanding until they understand that their way, their sensibilities, their view was bullshit. Pardon my French. And that we will apply patience when they're actually trying to learn ways to support them staying on the straight path. The straight path, well, that's actually easy. You do the right thing. But ways to make it routine and support that are things you will have to take time to learn. But damn it, you're going to do it. It's like I tell my students, pick 2 mistakes a week, 1 at a time, but 2 a week, and you fix them. And I put it up on a chart. I show the names of the mistakes. I show examples of them, and I show examples of how they should be corrected. So they have this in a chart. They had it from the beginning of the semester, and I told them, these are about 6 of them. You really could technically fix these within 3 weeks, but I'll give you 4. That was 12 weeks ago that 4 weeks was over, and these ninjas still, they can't ask a question with the proper grammar in English. They keep doubling up the subjects for one verb. They have subject-verb disagreement like a fathermucker. And when I get on them, I say, hey man, go back and say that again. Go back and write that again the way I taught. They give me the hand signal. The good. Be calm. Don't angry. And, instead of don't be angry, don't angry. That's the mistake. That's the first mistake I taught them to fix. How they can tell when to use the verb be and when not to. It's damn near the same in Arabic. Why are they ucking that fuck? Because they're niggas. That's what the word means. And we are dealing with Nick Kilcher, and the difference is we ain't got oil money, which is not going to always be there for these folks either. We don't have oil money to bail us out of the consequences of being dumb. I worked for a black-owned bank a lifetime ago. Our black clientele would come in, and try to run games and scams on us, and a white bank was right down the street. And when my branch manager had to go to that white bank for business reasons, she said I sat there and waited until my meeting got started. I sat in the lobby and I saw our clients go into that bank, and they were damn near saying yes, massa, when they were told to do things like show an ID, sign this document to get a check cash, stuff like that. Or actually, this one can't be cashed by us because neither party has an account with us, but this is the bank here that can cash it because it is the account holding bank of the one that wrote you this check. Why can't y'all cash it? Do you have an account with us? No, that's why. They don't have an account with us, and you don't. So we're literally unconnected to this. So what would they do? They didn't want to make that trip to the actual bank they needed to. They would go down the street to us. Cash this check for me right quick. Oh, all right. What's your account number? I ain't got one here. Well, this is not. Hey, just cash the check. Excuse me, I'm supposed to tell you why we can't do it. And they want to start these nigga arguments because we're a black-owned bank. And what some of them would even go so far as to say is, see, you should understand. No, I don't need to understand a goddamn thing. You need to understand. Banks are not required to cash checks that are in no way connected to them. If they do, it's a courtesy. You're welcome. They don't have to. And a black-owned bank, always targeted by scams and games by its own clientele because it's black-owned, cannot afford to do that. They start arguments with us they wouldn't start with the white bank down the street. They come in trying to withdraw money from accounts they had already closed. I wish I could make this up. Homeless cats coming in, no account anywhere. Yeah, I need to withdraw $15. Got your account number? No, I opened it up at the other location. Really? All right, sure. Let me call them. Yeah, y'all have an account open up for a what's your name, bro? Billy. That's it? Billy? Billy what? Apparently that's his last name. No, he never opened one up over here. Well, he didn't open one up here either. So, Billy, we don't have an account for you anywhere. I mean, they were the audacity of doing this. No ID, hobbling in trying to withdraw from accounts that don't exist because they never opened. And I remember one time that one of the security guards there told me, well, they think that the black bank should understand. And I just said, that's it, I'm done. And I decided that I was never going to open up a business to cater to the black population ever in my life because of that. Because all I would be told is that I need to understand. And now in the Black Manosphere, you were doing the right thing and you were taking the right stance, but I want to make sure that you understand this consciously in words that you're doing right so that nobody can come along later and trick you into doing something else using some different words. You don't need to be more understanding or more patient with anything, not female nature if you think that's what it is, not the gynocracy or the matriarchy or with hypergamy when it's applied unfairly. Anything implying a non-give and take, in other words, you give and she takes and that's it, is automatically something to not respect, to not be understanding of, and with which to have no patience at all. And if you do, don't let them see you with that patience because they'll abuse that and you won't have it anymore. Think of patience as being like money. If everybody knows you got it, you won't have it for long. You will have to go somewhere where nobody knows you have it in order to keep it. And patience is the same thing. It's a limited resources. Every human's patience is limited. And if everybody knows you got it, you're going to run out. Because they're going to use it all up. The gynocracy is really like that because they maintain the dysfunction. And they sexually reward the dysfunction. And they only reproduce with the dysfunctional. And the white community's facing the same thing, but they're going to get away with it, at least for a little longer. They got the resources to. We don't. And I don't want us getting away with that anymore. By the same token, with this lack of patience, you must also have the same lack of patience and understanding when you were dealing with white conservative Republicans, because their asses are just racist. And they're going to lie to you. Well, what if it's not really color, but it's culture? Shut the F up. Fuck the shuck up, you lying cracker. You don't like either one. For you, it's really both. The minute you take culture out of it, you still gonna have a problem with color. Let somebody of the wrong color give you an order that you don't want to obey, and you're going to get steaming mad. How do we know? Well, it happened when Obama won election. All of a sudden, they forgot their own political system. Started blaming him for the South losing the Civil War. I mean, they don't deserve patience. When you got black South Africans running around and letting racist ass apartheid white folks stay in the damn country comfortably, and they want to just beat up on some other non-South African black folks, and that's it. Just that. And ain't got no smoke for them devils. You know what, man? No more understanding. Screw that. F your understanding. Same for those that want to gangbang in the name of FBA. Not distinguish or take note of the distinctions that come with being a multi-generational African American. Yeah, they're going to be distinctions. They're supposed to be. Same with Jamaicans, same with Bajans. And if a child is born to both of them, the child is supposed to carry both of, or sets, they're supposed to carry distinctions from both. That's fine. That's what's supposed to happen. The distinctions. But when people start getting divisive about that, ask them, what kind of smoke you got from white folk? Oh, none? So you don't like anybody that ain't black, especially that ain't black American, because they sold us out to white folk, even if they didn't. You're going to say they did, but then you ain't got no smoke for the ones that gave them approval for selling us out. That pressured them to do it in the first mother cuss word place. How the hell you going? You know what? That's stupid. Screw understanding it. No need for patience with that or understanding. That kind of brainwashing is not supposed to take hold and take root amongst an intelligent people that have already addressed the brainwashing. Now shuck that fit. That's the point a Pan-Africanist can make, and no matter how dumb some conclusions are to which they've been jumping. That's a valid point. They got their own sets of conclusions at times because the pro-blacks are getting old and aging out. They're being replaced by these illiterate, niggliterate pro-whacks that don't read nothing. Cleopatra was black. No, Cleopatra was Greek. Nefertiti was black, dumbass. Read it. Look it up. And just confuse them all. Oh, the Egyptians were black. By the time of the Arab invasion, they weren't black north of Aswan. Matter of fact, before that, by the time of the last Roman invasion, they were not noticeably black north of Aswan. When the Arab invasion happened, yes, that was an Islamic conquest, by the way. When that happened, the Arabs were blacker than the average Egyptian, at least north of Aswan. And that was how they viewed them as liberators. Because the Arabs, many of the tribes that went with Amr ibn al-As being black, went in and liberated these intermediate phenotype Egyptians from Roman white Byzantine churches that controlled the area at that point. It was actually religious. They wanted the Muslims to come in. The Romans did not want them to because the Byzantine Romans were controlling. Maybe I'm wrong about them being Byzantine, but they were white and they were Trinitarian. And at that point, many of the Egyptian Coptic Christians were Unitarian. They did not believe in the Trinity or that Jesus was God, let alone the Son of God. They believed he was the Messiah. And this was a Christian on Christian fight, if you want to call the Trinitarians Christians. And one group said to the Muslims, man, come liberate us from these oppressive mother cuss words. And the Muslims that at that time were in the Arabian Peninsula under Amr ibn al-As went in and did it. and many of the tribes were black. Look up the conversation between the Bishop Mukalkas and the leader of one of the tribes that had gone in with Ahmad ibn al-As. Please tell this black man to speak softly to me. Yeah, that's a matter of historical record. It's a historically recorded conversation. And they had to tell, it was the men of his tribe that said, if you got a problem with him, well, most of our tribe are blacker than him. And this is our leader, and that's the one you got to negotiate with. So fuck the shuck up and talk to him. He was a black Arab. A lot of pro-acts don't want to read this stuff. They just jump to conclusions, start saying stuff that ain't true, and they ain't lying, but they could have known what was true and what was not if they had simply said, well, if I'm not an expert on this, I will let the experts speak. I remember what I heard. It could be right, it could be wrong, but there are people who know the details. I'll let them speak more on that. No, they don't even do that. No, it's just Cleopatra was black. No, dumb as she wasn't. She actually was not. You're right that the pharaohs and the pharaohs' wives up to a certain point were. Cleopatra just wasn't one of them because she was from the descendant of the Greek invaders. And we who learn these things have been patient with unnuanced, nig-literate, stereotypical caricatures who believe that they're jigaboos, writing and saying dumb stuff online and can't punctuate or capitalize none of it, and can't spell most of it correctly. We've been understanding and patient. Screw that. You're stupid, you get no patience. It is not the job of the thinking black man to be patient or understanding so that idiots can continue to be stupid and lazy. No more understanding and patience. From now on, it is only apply understanding and patience to people that are actually trying to learn something new and different and better, and how to be, and learn a new way to be better. That's the only time, because they're actually making an effort. And if they ain't doing nothing but backsliding, screw them ninjas too. No patience, no understanding. Nigga, you could have done better, you just wouldn't. I hope this helps. And as always, thanks for listening, but more importantly, Black Manosphere, thank you for this cultural revolution, which we're now looking and saying, no, screw all the Nick Kilcher and the dysfunction. I just want you to be conscious and aware of this in words so that somebody else can come along and trick you. Thank you for this cultural revolution. We needed it. From the bottom of my black heart and from the depths of my black mind, please accept my gratitude. And as always, thank you for flying with us again here on Jet Black Air, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. Black heart, black mind, black out, and black heterosexual non-select male power because they don't like it. Non-pookie power because they don't like it. And black patriarchy, non-pookie patriarchy, until extinction or judgment day. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice fair.
No. There will be darkness. I pray that the ancestors will preserve and protect our tribe and safeguard the past as it was.
Nothing will be as it was ever again. Now, kill him.